you already know what you need to do. I've realized a lot of things in life, it's the things we want to achieve or the things we need to do to achieve those things we either already know or are pretty simple to do. It's just our mind complicates things so much that we don't even move an inch. In a way, I view it just as a form of procrastination. We think so hard and so much and try to prepare, when in reality, you're just losing and wasting time. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need to wait until you have this certain knowledge or this certain qualification down to start doing something. You can and actually probably should start right now. I have a lot of experience with this as not only as someone who has my own problems with procrastination, but really as someone who's been dealt with this specific problem and have realized through self-reflection and through watching other people talk about this that in reality it's just I need more time or I'm not ready yet is complete bullshit. You see, the best way I can start explaining this is I'm currently learning web development. And in programming, there's something called tutorial hell, where it's basically where people, they watch the tutorial and learn to program, but then when they sit down to actually try to program or, create a piece of software, they have no idea what to do. And then it gets in a feedback loop where you try to watch more tutorials. Or I was in this loop where I was like, I think I need to learn this program or learn this new piece of code or this new technique, and then I can start. It creates a false sense of security where you think you're being productive by preparing, but in reality, it's really just a form of procrastination that your brain is doing. And the best way to learn something, really anything, and something I'm starting to take to heart is the best way to learn something, to really improve at something, is just to do the things you want to do. Start the project. And then this goes into discussion of, what if you fail? What if it's bad? It is going to be bad. But you have to accept that it'll be bad and almost embrace the sucky nature of it. Like, as a person who does creative things, I realize there's a certain beauty to ugly art. And in turn, this creates a mindset where, because I'm okay with creating ugly art, when I look at ugly art, I can rationalize it to say, this is fine. It then creates a feedback loop where I will then improve. Because, again, the only way you improve is by doing the thing you want to do, by failing, then by learning by what you did wrong and improving on that, and then creating this feedback loop of continuous learning and improvement. So, essentially, you just need to go out there and do it. Like, you've probably heard this. The best time to start is right now. You have to take that leap. And I think another way we try to, quote, prepare, and another reason we procrastinate so much on this is because we're almost afraid of thinking, we're almost afraid of, what'll happen. What could happen? What if it doesn't work out? What if it does work out and you have no idea how to manage it? And you just get stuck in your own head over and over and over and over. And I'm speaking from personal experience because this is what I've gone through and what I've realized in myself. And I realized, okay, but I really need to stop this. This is bullshit. You just need to get up and do the work. It's that simple. Just do the work. And sometimes a part of my mind is screaming at me, saying, just do it, just get started. But it's almost that there's this fear, right? It's like this fear of, if any of you have social anxiety, to go up and talk to someone. But what's really interesting is, like, I like to view it as a barrier. You have this fear barrier, but once you start it, after a few moments, like seconds or minutes, it goes away. Then you get into that flow. So we should really view this as, test of courage. And every time you actually start an action and complete it, that's almost like you're slowly improving yourself. You're getting better. The goal should be not to create something beautiful, but to actually produce an outcome. The goal should be doing the action, not the output. Or if your goal is an output, at least it should be a output, not the output or the perfect output you visualize in your head. Because oftentimes, and I know this from experience, we have this great idea in your head, right? But when you actually put it into working reality, it often doesn't come up. And that's fine. But the most important part is this, what I've realized. You win when you do it. You don't win after the outcome. You win when you take that first step. And then you're consistent about it. And when you frame it that way, it becomes so much easier to do the work. And when you do the work, you will eventually end up somewhere. Like, there's this concept, you miss all the shots you don't take. Like, yeah, if you don't do it, you are guaranteed to fail. But if you do it, you at least have a chance. So rationally speaking, it's more rational to actually take that leap of faith than not do it. Because, at the end of the day, you only have this one life. And after that, well, like, the worst thing in life is when you're in your deathbed and then you're constantly beating yourself up and thinking, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take that leap of faith? Why didn't I go out and do what I say I was going to do? And this is another problem. When you say you're going to do something, but then you don't do it, that creates an issue where you don't believe in your own words. And when you don't believe in your own words, or you don't take your own words seriously, eventually you're just someone who talks, but never able to do anything. And one of the most important things you need to do is when you say you're going to do something, at least most of the time, you have to do it solely for the sake of you keeping your word. And so your mind knows that you are a person who keeps their word and does what he says he does. Or she. But I get it. Like, it's so weird. Like, you have this fear of starting or fear of doing it. And when you do it, it's like there's some raging thing inside of you that's screaming at you to do something or stop or, maybe go scroll. But one of the things in life is you have to resist that temptation. And if you at least try, you get better at this over time. And over time, you'll get to a point to where you can actually start, doing the work. For the longest time, I didn't want to do this type of channel because I didn't like the sound of my voice. But then one day, I recorded it And I was like, it doesn't sound too bad. Or even if it does, screw it. Let's just do it. And now here I am. This is my 4th video. I mean, like just a few months ago, I never would have thought I'd be able to make a video recording my own voice, because I always thought it sounded so bad, or I needed a mic, or I needed this piece of equipment. But no, you just need to start, bro. Because it's like in the hero's journey. Like, imagine if the protagonist, right, he just procrastinated all day. And the goal to slay the dragon was there, but he's just procrastinating, thinking, I need to get this sword, and I need to get this piece of equipment, or I need to, I don't know, get all these specific types of people, or read this book and how to kill this type of specific dragon, or learn the manual on how to, I don't know, divulge through castles or something. And at that point, he never would have got anything done. Everything the hero learned on this journey was by doing the journey, by getting messy. So for me, if my goal is to fail, is to get messy, or if my preferred outcome is not that polished piece, but just being able to get it done today, that did I do what I needed to do today? If that is the goal, you can't lose. You've already won. So yeah, that's what I think. And just try to implement it in your life, and I think it'll really change you. Thank you for watching.